This is an AQA GCSE chemistry question. It's from the Trilogy 2019 paper and it is a foundation question. So I'm going to show you each section to try, pausing as you go, and then we'll review. Here is part A, part B, part C, part D and E, and finally part F, a 12-mark question. So let's go through and review. We've got the apparatus set up with the magnesium and hydrochloric acid. We're collecting the gas and measuring the volume of gas produced over time. But our first job is to balance the equation. At the moment, you can see I've got one magnesium. I've got one H, two H's, and one Cl, two Cl's. So I need two HCl to balance the equation. On to part B, student used 50 centimetre cubed of hydrochloric acid. What would you use to most accurately measure 50 centimetre cubed? A beaker, a conical flask, or a measuring cylinder? Fairly straightforward question. You need to be aware of this fact. It's the 50 centimetre cubed measuring cylinder. For the next question, there are 4 marks available here. You need to put column headings in. So we've got time and volume, but you also, for the second mark, need to put the units in. We're doing 20 seconds for every 20 seconds for 2 minutes. So time is in seconds and volume is in centimetres cubed. And then the final marks are for putting in the correct times: 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. There's your 2 minutes. And for adding the correct volumes with the correct times. So we're putting them in order. And we're done. On to part D. Volumes of gas were lower than expected. Suggest one reason. There are many ways you can answer this question. It might be that some gas escaped and we didn't measure its volume. It may be that the magnesium was impure, so the reaction didn't go quite as far as we thought. It might be the temperature was slightly lower than we'd expected. And it might be that the acid concentration was lower than we'd expected. Please note that in all of these, they explain that the gas volume was lower. If you'd said the temperature was higher or the acid concentration was higher, the volume would be higher, and you therefore would not get the mark. Student repeated the experiment using different concentrations of hydrochloric acid. What should the student keep the same? So we're looking at control variables. Well, the length or the surface area of magnesium, we want to keep those the same, and the volume of the acid or the temperature of the acid. Remember, we change the independent variable, we measure the dependent variable, and we try to keep everything else the same. And to finish off, complete the sentences. As the concentration of the hydrochloric acid increased, the rate of reaction increased. This is because there were more acid particles in each cubic centimetre cube, or cm cubed. So the collisions happen more frequently. And that takes us to the end of the question.